Hi, Lina, how are you?
Hello.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So today we are going to continue to work on the phone design. Okay, last week we worked on the table. Okay. There's still some topic in table, but I don't want to go too deep on the table because we want to save some time. So I would try to do phone today, and then we are about to finish HTML. After we finish HTML, we'll go jump directly to JavaScript, okay? Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah.
And then CSS, I think it's just secondary, so it's not so important. You can learn it by yourself. So there are a few chapters on CSS, but you can download the video, or download the whatever, download the transparency, the PowerPoint file to read it, okay? And also you can also watch the video last year or some other year to do it. So it's okay. So what I want to say is we will speed up the going to the JavaScript because JavaScript is more important. Okay, so basically let me show you. So right now today we are on still on this one, table and form. In the middle right here, we have a few of the CSS. We'll bypass them and we'll jump to the JavaScript right there, okay, from here, from the lecture 7. So right now we are lecture 3. That means the PowerPoint chapter 3 that we have, okay? So we are going to do that. And then I will show you some tool, combined tool for HTML and JavaScript today as well. Okay, that's what we would do. And then help you to understand the code.org JavaScript more, okay? But first, we still need to finish up the HTML, the last one. So far, we have been covering the HTML for different components, paragraph, link, anchor link, okay, a link, okay, and then span, and then image, and then table. Okay, so it's a different kind of a component in the HTML page. An HTML page, when we design JavaScript actually need to work on the page. So you need to design an HTML page first. Then you work on using the JavaScript to work on it. Okay, so basically this is what happened. And then today we are going to go over the form for the HTML. One more thing I would like to discuss is the schedule. Let's actually bring up the schedule. I'll talk about the remaining days of this year. So let me bring up the monthly schedule. So right now is it's actually the starting of the October. So we'll continue to teach you the so-called HTML and JavaScript. So this year, let me say, Thanksgiving week, Thanksgiving week, we have Thanksgiving on the 27th, November 27th. So the whole week, Monday to Friday, there is a coding practice on Thanksgiving Day, so we don't do it, okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So Thanksgiving, we are off. And then the Sunday before Thanksgiving and Sunday after the Thanksgiving, we will still have a class. But if you cannot make it, say for some reason you travel or something, you want to cancel the class, I'm okay. It's okay. But
Okay.
you have to check with your parent to make sure that if you do have a travel plan, I don't want to block your travel plan, up to you, okay? So that's about Thanksgiving. And then go to the December. The last day for the class would be 14th. And then after 14th, so this December, we only have half a month. So I also told your mom that December just pay me half the tuition, that would be good enough. So just a half a month on December up to the 14th. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And then the rest of them will be off. we are actually off. So anyway, I'll try to finish JavaScript before the end of the year. So JavaScript will be up to here. Okay, and your coding practice for code.org right now is Unit 3. You should go to Unit 5 after you finish Unit 3. Unit 3 right now you are on lesson 9, and then you will soon go to 10. Finish 10, you go to Unit 5. And then you finish Unit 5. That's actually our goal to be done before the end of the year. It's okay? Before mid-December. That's the goal. So I'm not rushing you. I just let you know about the timing. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now that's the JavaScript part. Now, and then if after the new year, we will resume on January 10th. We'll resume the class on January 10th. And then maybe I'm okay to have a class on January 3rd, but sometimes students still travel, so I'm not sure what would be your situation. Okay, so if you are okay to take a class on 3rd, we can start on 3rd, but if not, if no further announcement, we'll start from 10th. Actually, you are Sunday, I'm sorry. So we should start from 11th. And then if you want to do 4th, we can do 4th, okay? Up to you, depending on your travel plan as well. So during the Christmas break, you should have for us, you should have from 15 up to 10th, up to January 10th. This whole time, you can arrange any travel plan you have. We don't want to bother you on the travel, okay?
Okay.
But if you are okay for the January 4th to have a class, we can start from that week as well. Okay, up to you. But up to your travel plan and overall. Now, starting from the January, we will stop doing the HTML, CSS. We will no longer do this CS50 for web design. What we will do is on the January, we will switch to AP ComSci P course. So doing review for the course. So we'll do CSP 25, we'll do this one. Let's actually bring up the unit 1. So we will have a new course in January to 100% focus on the preparation of AP-CSP exam. Is that okay? This one is spring 26, we'll start to work on this. Okay, so at that time, we'll be 100% focused on the exam review. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and then starting from January, we are expecting you to work on the final project. So because you already finished the Unit 3 and Unit 5 for code.org, then starting from January, we'll start to work on your final project for the AP-CSP project. Okay?
Okay.
Any question?
No.
Any question from your school?
It's fine for now.
Okay, if you have any question, let me know. Okay, anyway, these are our planning and our time. Okay, we have been running something like this for several years, and so far so good. Okay, so but let me know if you have some situation. So now going back to the topic we are talking about. Last week we are on table. So table is to design some of the component on the HTML to show the cells or a table like this. Okay, and we do show you some technique to build a table. And then there are some more advanced topic such as grouping and coloring different one using colors groups span. Okay, This one I think is okay. You can study it. Okay. So this one we actually omit. So now today we are going to work on phone. Phone. Okay. So first, before we get started, first you need to know about what is a phone. So phone is let's assume that you try to apply college. So you do have application phone. So a phone is a data sheet that you provided to a school or to a bank or to a organization to submit your data. That's called phone. Okay. So typical phone is like when you actually go to a bank, you try to submit something to the bank and then they start to deal with something. So that's me actually show you. So let's assume that actually then go to the Citibank. That's the bank I'm using. So when you browse the Citibank, you go to their website, you do see something like this. You do see some sort of the user ID and password and the sign up things right here. You do have apply. You can click button here. When you click something here, you would take some action. Okay. So this whole thing, we call it form. And then after you say, let's assume that you actually enter the password and then you hit sign on. So when you hit sign on, what will happen is you originally have a Citibank phone with the ID and your password. And then you hit submit. And after you hit submit, some form is called HTTP request. Will be sent to Citibank. And then Citibank will send back you something. So the something that Citibank sent back is this banking information. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And the password and the ID that you enter is sent to the Citibank as a phone. So in a way, we can look at the phone as the input and the output of a website. So a website may have some input, may have some output. We do call it forms because you submit a form to the bank, you submit a form to the school, you submit a form to some certain organization. So it will return with this, and this says you can click check in. Let's click a different thing. Let's click payment. I'm sorry. Let me actually try different one. Let's actually click on the investment. Okay, and then you can click on the self-invest. So you jump to a different scenes, and then it will show you my investment data. So now let's see. Let's assume that actually let me click on the QQQI. This is one stock. So I pick this stock, and then let's assume that I click buy. So I want to buy some stock. Then it pop up with some trade now information. You need to put the number of share you want to buy, and then you will echo how much money you would need to pay. This again is another form. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So phone is some sort of a data entry or data display to communicate with the customers. That's called phone. Okay, so phone is the input and output of the website. And Citibank is a very good example because Citibank has a lot of customers and Citibank has a lot of phone that you need to fill the different phone in order to make it work. Okay. So now let's actually go back to our HTML. So we are going to start the design of a form. Let me bring up something that we have last year for the form. I'll show you what we will do. Okay, what we will do. But we will not repeat the same one. We will actually do a different one. But let's look at the form that we used last year. So let's actually. Oh no, not this one. I'm making a mistake. This year. Let's look at chapter 9. Okay, let's look at the CETA1. Okay. So CETA1 is a CETA4 high school enrollment form. So we do have something like this. So you can put the data in there. Put the age in there. Okay, male, female, you can pick these different one, and then you can pick the math, favorite subject, and then choose the grade that you have, and then the favorite teacher name. Okay, so these are different forms that you would have. Okay, and then you click me, you will actually get the information down here, the one that is entered. Is that okay? This is an example that's here. So now let's look at it. First one, we do have a input entry. This one is the input entry. Okay, this one we call it input entry. Okay, and then we may have this one. This one we call it radio button. The radio button is a circle. So it allow you to choose one of them. So if you choose male, you cannot choose a female. If you choose a female, you cannot choose male. So it's a 2-in-1 choice. Is that okay? Hello, is that okay?
Yeah.
And then this one is actually called checklist. So checklist is different from radio button. Radio button, you have 2-in-1, so you can only pick one. Checklist, you can check multiple of them. So you can check math, English at the same time. So this one is multiple choice. Okay, and then that's another one. So we have the input box, we have the radio button, we have checklist. Then we have pull down menu. Pull down menu is that you can pull down this value A, B, C, D, E to choose a score that you want to have. Okay, and you also have this one, the selection list, option list, and you may also put some comment in there. These are some comment you can put. Okay, this is the input text area. This one we call it text area. Okay, this we call it text area. Now this is different input scenes. Let's go back to code.org. So let's look at the code.org app lab. So code.org app lab. Let's do this one. Okay, and let's actually create a new project. Let's actually create an app lab project. Okay, so when you go to the code.org right here, you do have some design, you do have some code. So far, you have been doing code a lot because you do a lot of the turtle programming that has turtle functions. So you did this well. You do look at the control for the for loop. You do have some user interface. Okay, you should also have some variable statements. So these different yellow, green, blue, purple colors statement, you have already did that. Okay, that's good. That actually is for the JavaScript coding. Now, for the design side, you may never hit the design before, but design right here, you do have draw down menu, checkbox, radio buttons, text area, label, text input button. These are what I just say in the button that we want to build today. These are actually those different elements that you will do it today. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever we teach you later, you will use this Coda Ops to build it. And they also have a radio button. Say here you do call it. I'm sorry. You do call it radio button. Okay. You do call it checkbox. Drop down menu, text input. Okay, button. Okay, these are different things that you actually will see later when we go to the Coda Ops. Okay. Anyway, you will go to here later. Okay, you'll go to here later. When you go to the unit file, you will go to here soon. Okay. Okay, anyway, let's go back to here. We are going to design some form. Okay, so let's get started. This one, let me choose a website for valid HTML. Okay, let's do valid HTML. So let's do it. So create a website, and then you have the head and body like before. So always create your page like this. Now you have this. Now next one, we want to have a title. So the title would be very Christian high school. Okay. Now very Christian high school. Let me get a logo from your high school. Okay. So very Christian. Your high school is at San Jose, right?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's actually look at. Let me see. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure whether this is your logo or not. Let me look at this one. No, let me just download it. Okay, save image as. Okay, this one let me actually put. I'm trying to use your high school as example because why? Because later you may use this as an example to build a website for your own high school club. Okay, so that's what you can do. Okay, chapter 9. So here let's call it very a PNG. Okay, now good. Now next one, we want to do the physical part. So let's do physical link. Oh, this one. Okay, let's copy this physical part. Go back to here. Put it over here. So this is link for physical. Now let's change this one. This one should be valid the PNG. Okay, now save. Let's see. Save. That's actually go to the here. No, not this one. Okay, let's click on ready. Okay, so this one is an empty page right now. Okay, so far, let me bring it up to a separate browser. So let me close the browser. So far, this one is your school, and we do have a PNG as a 3D cone right here. Okay, no problem. So far, so good. And it's an empty page because nothing has been done there. Okay, that's okay. Now, next one, we are going to get started. Okay. So now we go to the body. We actually would like to work on the body. Work on the body, and then right here you do have work on this one. The body you let's look at the Cedar High School. So you want to have such a phone. Okay, you want to have such a phone. So let's see. Let's actually do it. Okay. So let's go to the body right here. Let's actually put the H1. Okay, this one let's call it very Christian. Okay, this year I don't want to use the enrollment form. Okay, I will do Christian and then call it grade report. Okay, so grade report. So we do have a H1, that's a banner. Now next one, we are going to actually put a form in there. So let's look at the last year's design, okay? I want to borrow some of the structure. We will not do the same project. We will actually work on a different project. So let me actually open it with different editor. So let's work on this Cedar one. So I'll create a form, okay? I'll create a form, but I would like to actually open it and then read the code structure, okay? So first one, we set up the header line. Next one, we'll set up the form. So when we set up the form, you need to have the beginning of the form and also ending of the form. So right here, you do have the header and then you have the form. So let's actually get started for form. So you need to have a starting for the form and ending for the form. Okay, so this part is the form part. So right here, let's put something there. So let's do form to be designed. Okay, to be designed. So that's the form. Besides that, we may want to have some style for the page. So let's put a style for the page now. Okay, style for the page, we want to work on the body. Okay, body, let's have the background color. This one, let's do light, let's do light. Let's do light green. This one, let me choose the color. Okay, let me choose the color. I may choose much lighter color. Okay, so that's the background color we have. Then we may want to have a margin of 30 pixel wide. We may want to have a border. So this border, I will use a 1 pixel dashed black. So sometimes I use a solid, sometimes I use dash. So when we use dash, dash is like this, it's actually dashing. solid is this, okay? So right here, we use the dash border. Okay, let's look at it so far with the tuning that we have so far. Save. I'll keep this one. Let's see. Let me actually bring up my page right here. So this one, let me refresh it. So this one is our page. So far we have 30 pixel wide, okay? And then we had this one is the so-called header one, okay? And then the phone is right here to be designed. We haven't put anything there yet, okay? Now what we want to do right here is in the header, we may want to put the image as such towards the value, the PNG. Okay, this one, the width should assign 60 pixel. I don't want it to be too big. And then after that, I would keep some space. So let's do at MBSP. These are the spacing. So let's put the two space in there. Okay, the border, let's change to 50 pixel wide for the margin from the phone to the border side. So let's refresh it. Okay, so we do get the picture, and then we have two space right there. It's a little bit too far away, so let me actually delete one. We don't need two of them. We need just one. Okay, so right here, this image is right there. Let's actually have a ID. This one, let's call it logo one. Okay, so logo one. So we want to tune the logo one, the sharp logo one. Okay, we will have border radius. Border radius, we would do 10 pixel. Okay, let's do it this way. So right now we don't have border radius, so it actually is square. I want it to have some curve on the image. So that's the border radius. Okay, it do show some curve. If you look at it, it do show some curve. Okay, these are some curve. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually make it not as sharp as sharp. Make it not as sharp. So eventually we'll take this borderline away, but right now let's keep it. Okay, let's keep it. Okay, so far we have this header line. Okay, working, and then background color, and then border dashed, and then radius on the image. Okay, so far so good. Now we go into the phone. So going to the phone, what we want to have is this one. We have a few of the collection. So each collection have multiple input. So these are 3 input phone and 1 radio button. This is personal information. Okay. Second section is academic performance. So that's the second section. Third section is comment. So we have 3 sections, and then we have a click me. So after click me, your message board is extra. This one actually is for debugging purpose. After here, it's not for school use, it's for debugging purpose. So we'll talk about this later, okay? But at this moment, don't worry about the message part. So let's go up to here. We do have a few of the sections. So we want to design a section. So the section is called field set. The section is called field set. So you need to design something called, we actually right here. There is a field set. This is called field set. A section is called a field set. And then your legend is the name of the section. And then there's a label something. And then, so from field set to field set. Okay, so this is personal information. So let's do this first. Because this one for us is really Christian school, we also would do a grade report. So you will also have a field select set. Let's finish with the field set. So this is a field set. And this is field set would have the legend. Okay, let's look at the legend. So this legend actually right here is personal information. So we will actually have something that's called student information. Okay, that's actually finish up to here. Okay, so we have a field set, student information, and right here let's put the field to be designed. Okay, so when something that you haven't designed, you can always put some word like this. Okay, that's issue. Refresh it. So we do have the student information. That's one section, and then field to be designed. Okay, that's one section. Let's actually add more section. So this is a field section. Let's copy. Put. Okay, so here that's second section. That's called grade report. Okay. Let's actually copy for third one. Let's do teachers' comments and suggestions. Okay, so this is typically a form for teacher to fill out to report a student's grade. So student information, grade report, and the teacher's comment. So the teacher may comment, this student is working very hard every day and he help out the classroom. Okay, those kind of information. Teacher comment. Grade report is every subject, say AP chemistry A, okay, honor calculus A, those kind of things we call it grade report. Student information is students' background knowledge. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the layout, top level layout of our very Christian school report. Okay, let's go back. So each one of the field, we use a field set, and all of them being included in a form. So a form is something you will submit. So right there, you may, inside the form, you may also have a button. So before we have a button, let's put a paragraph and put a button inside a paragraph. Okay, so this actually, let me put it in. So this button, it may be called submit. Okay, up to here, so far so good. Let's actually do this. And let's look at it. So there's a button called submit. So you can fill out the form and hit submit. You will submit the data to the website. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
So that's actually so far we finished the top level things. We will add different things to tune this form later, but at this moment, this is the very form, okay, very Christian school form. Now, first one, let's look at the student information. So in the student information right here, we may have name, age, ages, gender. Okay, so name is an input. You can input something there. Okay, age is also an input. Ages is also input. Each one of them, this one you would take a string. Second one would take a integer. Third one will also take a string. Is okay? Fourth one, you pick male or female, so you will get a string of males or a female. string. Is that okay?
Yeah.
These are input. So let's look at the input part. Okay. So now let's go back. So let's go to the here. So we want to have an input. So let me copy the label up to, let's see, Django. Up to here. This one is only one. Let's look at one. So the first one that I will look at is right here in the legend. Let's just add one input. So this input form is called name. So name is a label. A label is some of the things that you put it, and you put the label over there. Okay. And then you actually have a input form. Input forms, this one is called name. And placeholder. Placeholder is a default value, is called Jiangdo. Let's change a different name. Let's change it to Tom Cruise. Okay. And then the value, let's actually also set it to be Tom Cruise. So the placeholder or value is the initial value you have. BR is a changing line. So after you have this label and input. So label is the first label. You put a name. This part is the label. And then there's a box to waiting for the input. This input, we call it the input form. Okay, so far?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's actually save it. And then look at the page. Let's actually look at it. So we do look at a label and the input. Input, we have the default value of Tom Cruise. So far, okay?
Yeah.
So form is to design this kind of input. Now let's look at how can we deal with the input. So go back to here, we do have the input. And then let's look at the so-called button. So the button, when you click, you will run the main function. Okay, so on click, you will run the main function. So let's actually do, go back to here. Okay, so right here, let's actually right here, let's add the function to here. So it's on click, you run the main function. So let's go to the here. So after style right here, let's actually put a script in there. So we will add JavaScript now. So here we will define a function called main function. So this main function I'll do only one thing. Let's do alert. Welcome to JavaScript. Okay. So it's a function, it will alert welcome to JavaScript. Let's actually start right here. So go back to here, let's refresh it. So I have a Tom Cruise and I hit submit. When I hit submit, what happened is you will call a function called main function. So which main function you will call? You will call the JavaScript main function that actually is right here. So JavaScript main function will run alert JavaScript. So this one will be pop up, will show on the web page. So let's do it. Okay, save. And let's refresh and hit submit. You see, welcome to JavaScript. This alert have been pop up. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
So alert is a function that you can actually make your website to report something. Okay, whatever. Now let's go back. So we know that here main function would do it in this way. Okay, let's actually go back to here. Now we want to do different things. The main function right here, let's see, we will actually have another section called panel. So we want to add the HR panel. Okay, this thing. Let's copy this part. Okay, let's go to the here. So this one is after the phone. After the phone, we do have this. We do have HR. HR is a line, a horizontal line. So it's a separate section. And then this section is called message. And the message, there is a paragraph called panel. And the panel is actually have the message panel inside. Okay, right here, let's just save it. And look at the page. So right now there's a message called message panel right here. And if we click, it will do welcome to JavaScript, but nothing will happen. So far, okay?
Yeah.
So now we are going to design this message panel. So let's go back to the message panel. So message panel right here, ID equals panel. So let's see. The panel, we will have some color for the panel. So let's use a sharp panel, these different things. And the button, let's actually copy this different button and panel. Let's actually tune it. So let's actually put this panel and the buttons setting. So panel would have border of the green color, and then background is white color, padding 20. Okay, that's what we have for the panel. So with that style, let's see what happened. So the panel now been changed to this style. So later we would add more message on the panel. Okay, add more message on the panel. But at this moment, the panel look like this. Okay, so far okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go back. So going back, we do set up the panels color now. What we would do right now would be, you will do document the get element by panel, and then panel the inner panel should be empty. So let's copy these two parts. Let's put it over here. Okay, put it over here. Now, right here, the script is before the body. Script before the body. So when you do this, the body won't take effect. So let's actually cut this script. Put it later, so it will be after your message right here. Let's put it over here. Let's put the script over here. Okay, it won't change it too much since, but later you will see there's a better in this way. Let's actually look at it. Okay, nothing changed. So what happened is like the message panel right now, we do have panel equals empty string. So panel equal empty string. The original message of message panel have been cleared. So right here, let's do try me. So do this try me, you will show try me. So what is this try me? Try me actually is panel like the inner HTML. Panel like HTML means that right here, this message panel have been replaced by try me. So this is a paragraph. This is a paragraph called panel, and panel have been used to change its inner HTML with try me. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
So what happened is like this one is used as an output section so that you have some input. You will show up in the message panel right here. Okay, we'll do that later. But at this moment, let's clean it. Let's don't use the try me. Let's keep it clean. Keep it clean. The message panel will be empty. Will be empty. Okay, now good. So now we do have a student information. Now we want to read this student information. When you click submit, we want to send the Tom Cruise to the website and then show on the message. So let's do it. So this one, let's go back to here. So let's see, we may want to have a print line and print message. So these two functions, let me actually copy them. These are two functions, two useful functions for website design. So let's put it there. Okay, just to help the pages to do printing. Okay, both functions are used for printing purpose. Nothing important. Okay, nothing important. So let's just put this print line and print function. It will just print a line of data in the message panel. Okay, so let me actually put this print function and print ln function. Okay, good enough. Now let's do this command now this alert. So let's just do one thing. Let's do print line of hello Vienna. Let's do print another line. And then here let's put in welcome. That's good. Okay, let's see so far. So alert will pop up, but print line is to change the contents of your inner HTML. So basically, will write to your message panel. So in a way, let's actually save it and let's redo it. So far, let's actually click. Okay, when you click, you do see there is a hello, Liana, and then welcome to JavaScript. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
So this one, okay, let's do this. Let's cut this one, put it in main. Okay. Let's go back. Actually, this one is actually every time it will be changed. Let me cut and put it in the main function. Right here, let's do this one. Let's do something's wrong. Okay, something's wrong. Let me check. I think what is wrong is that we do put the script. It's after the panel. It's inside the body. And after the panel. Something's wrong. Let me check one more time. Let's go put it back. It show up, but it actually cannot hold. Let me see something wrong. It show up, but it cannot hold. So click me button in the HTML plus equal. Something is wrong right here so far. Message if else. Function main. Let me comment out these two things. Let me just do alert now. See what happened. Okay, alert has no problem. Now let's go back. So right here, let's don't use the print function. Let's do something else. Let's do panel that inner HTML plus equal to AAA plus EI. Okay, let's just do this. The AA show up, but later the AA will be clean. So let's don't do this. Let's don't clean up the page then. You don't click the message and you get the original setting one more time. And your inner HTML update is not updated. This one doesn't take effect. There's something wrong here. Document that take get element by ID equals panel. Okay, let me copy the whole thing over. To make sure it actually is the same copy. Okay. And then let's come in on part. Okay, let's turn on this main function. To up to here, okay. It's okay, but every time you actually reset it, that's what something wrong. Like why it actually will reset it. Let me check, okay? Something's wrong, that it will reset it. On click, you do main. Okay, let's see. Let's do this only on click. Okay, I don't know. It's actually still create trouble. Okay, I'll troubleshoot this later, okay? I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, anyway, up to here, okay? This different one that's actually, okay, let's delete them. So the first one, we are going to print the name, so let's actually turn on the name. So we will get the element by ID. The ID is name. ID is name. You will get the name of the here. So the data of the Tom Cruise will be assigned to the name string. Okay, after you assign it to the name string, next one you want to print line the name strings. Let's copy here. Put it over here. Okay. So this is what we had. We had an input and then we assign a value to the string and then we print it. So before we print it, let's do alert it first. So alert will be showing it to the debugging places. So let's just save and let's run it again. So Tom Cruise being echoed to there. And you show up on the message is the Tom Cruise, but for some reason it got resetted right away. I'm not sure why it will get resetted. Okay, I think it's related to this panel equals inner HTML equals this. So let's do this. Let's do empty string right now here, and this one let's do plus equal. Okay, let's do this. Still has a power trouble. Okay, something's wrong. So that's not an issue. Okay, I'll debug it later. So now what we do is actually, okay, we do have an input code name, and then that you can input some data, and that data later you will print it on your message panel, and your message panel receive a value coming from the input part. So input part, you do input, and then the value from the box, whenever you enter it, the value from the box will be read by the JavaScript to show up right here. It will show up right here. Okay, it will show up right here. And then that is a string, so it show up in the page. Okay, so this is the first one that we do. Next one, we will actually try age. So you try age. This one you actually will have another label at the input combination. Okay, so let's do this. Let's actually copy it as well. So second one, we will copy from here with the age. Okay, let's copy the age and also the ages. So two input boxes being copied over. So one is called age, one is called label, ages. So each student also have the age and ages. Okay, so now we have three input. Three input right there. You also need to read the. So right there, you also need to get your age. So you need to get age and pass the age value to a integer. So this one is to get the input from your age. And pass integer will convert a string, age the value, that's actually a string into a number. Okay. And then ages, you will also do the ages part. So you also have the ages part here. Okay, after you get in these three value, next one, what you would do is, let's see, you print your name, age, ages, that's actually print line, these three, let's cut them. After the name, put it over there. So you read in your name and print it, read in your age and print it, read in your age and print it. Okay, these are three input boxes. Now let's try. Okay, so now you have three fields. So first one, let's try Jiangdou. First one, let's try Jiangdou. The age, let's try 24. Street, let's try 180 Street. LA, okay. So these are three input that you enter. Let's click submit. So you see the data will be shown on your messaging panel. It should hold, but for some reason right now I still cannot make it work. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason after the page, you will reset the data. Let me see why you will reset the data. After submitting, actually the page will be refreshed. Why is that? Why it will be reset? Also, let's don't call it submit. Let's call it different name. Let's call it click me. Okay, let's call it click me. Let's actually take out this button to be outside of the phone. Maybe that's because it's inside the phone. Let's don't put it inside the phone. Let's put it outside the phone. Maybe that's why it created trouble. Okay. Okay, let's put it outside the phone. The button originally I put it in the phone. That probably is an error. Yeah, no, it let you stay. Is okay? Now the data stay now.
Yeah.
Okay, so the problem I think is the mistake I make is that I put this button inside the phone. That's the problem. So let me change this one back to some. Okay, sorry for this. Sometimes this just happen. Okay. Okay, anyway, that actually there's no bug right now. Okay. Let's try one more time. Save, refresh. Let's do this one. Let's change to the in H3. Okay. I just arbitrarily do it. Okay, and you click. Now the data is in there and stay. Okay. Anyway, so this is what I want to show. Get the data and then bring to the message. So the phone itself, your school will only show you this part. The message part is for debugging purposes, for our programmers' purpose. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so far we do know the input box. So input box is actually is used to read in the string. So it's the same as in the Java you do have input. So this input box is very similar to you do read in input. Okay. And then there's an age. So this age you need to convert it to integer in Python. Okay. So basically right now it's called parse integer. Parse int of this. Let's look at it, okay? So right here, first you get the element by ID. Your ID is a name. Okay, then you actually get a value. So this name, the value is a string. So it's called name string. So you print out the name string later. Now, if you do the age input, you get a string. It's a age value that's a string. This one you need to convert it to integer. So age number is now an integer. So address is also a string. So two string and one integer. That's what we have so far. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
Okay, now this one we are going to try different input now. Okay, so far, okay. Now this one we are going to do the male female. So the male female is a radio button. Okay, so it's a radio button. So let's look at how to design the radio button. So the radio button, it will be a group of two buttons. So right there, here is a radio button. Let's copy the radio button. There are two buttons, one label and two buttons. Okay. So let's copy. So put into your input form after the address. Put it right here. So this is radio button. The label is gender. And then you have radio button. The first button is ID equal male. Name equals gender. Value equals male. So name is the variable name. Is a variable. The variable that you will have is called gender. And the gender's value may be male, may be female. Okay, so these are two radio buttons. So these two radio buttons we want to read into the JavaScript program. So right there, you will need to get the element by name. The name is gender. And then you actually read in each one of the button to see if it's already been clicked or not. So let's copy this one. So put it right there. So right here, you want to do it right here. You get the list and then you actually go through each gender. So gender 0 is male, gender 1 is female. So if the gender's value being clicked, then your gender i's value will be assigned to the gender string. So gender string is a string. Now this one is the string that you input. Now you want to print it out. So later you print out the gender right here. Let's copy this one. Okay, after here. Now let's look at it. So let's refresh it. Now you have 3 data field, 2 radio button, and a submit. So let's do it. So this one again, and setting, and then one page 3, LA, okay, quite CA, okay, 9007. So once that done, you choose the female. So these are the data. These are input box. So input box, you will enter string, and gender radio box, they will create a gender array. Gender array have 2, 0 and 1. 0 check, that means is male. 1 check, that means is female. So right now your 1 is checked. So let's click submit. So the gender select the female because only female being clicked. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
So let me rephrase it. Your input form, this kind of the form that we designed today is for I/O, for input output. Okay, for input output. So let me do it this way. Okay, this Christian high school so far okay, but we will not be able to finish it today. Okay, we will not be finished today. Let's do something else useful but smaller scale to show you how to design a form. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
Let's create a new web page. Let's call it addition. Okay, let's create some new form called addition. So this addition, let's actually copy the everything we have so far. Let's directly copy them. Okay, to the addition. I'm going to change it. Okay, I'm going to change it. So let's go back to look at it. This very question, body color, logo color, panel color, button color. Okay, this is everything that I want to change. Header, okay, here let's actually change it. This is not very question school anymore. It's actually called summation. Okay. And then here your logo one right here. Let's delete everything. Let's call summation. Okay, and then let's don't do the very difficult design right now. Let's actually delete. Let's keep the only the delete everything in the field set. And then let's just keep one field set. Delete everything else. keep the button and message panel. Green line we keep, green line we keep. And let's actually delete everything from here, from the main program. So main program has nothing. Okay, so main program is still alert. Okay, just alert, I'm here. The rest of them, I don't want to do that. So panel, we keep it. Green line, we keep it. That's what we have. And right here, we only have the summation and then field set. That is nothing else. Let's do this. Save. Okay, let's actually open it. So I'm going to design something very simple so you know that how this input form can be useful. Because we actually have too much right now, you may feel very complicated. So I don't want to add too much complication today. So right here we have a summation page. It is a submit. So when you click submit, you will echo I'm here. That's it. Okay. Now we are going to design this summation page again. So this one we are going to get a input. So let's get the one input. We don't need the personal information. We just need to have a label and the input. Let me try again. Okay, let's do it. So let's put it on the page. So this one, let's actually put in the field set. Let's put it over here. Okay, this one, we do have a text. So this one, let's call the ID as big X. Placeholder, let's put a 0 there. And then value, let's also have a 0. And then the label, let's put an X. Okay, so this is one X input. Let's copy these things and then put it over here. Let's put another one. This one is called Y input. Okay, change the ID to be 1. That's it. Let's actually save. Now let's look at the page. So we do have X and Y like this. Is that okay? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what we have right now. Now, that's 2 input box. One get the X, one get the Y, okay? So now let's go back to the main program right here. So we get element by name, okay? So right here, we do have alert, I'm here. So right here, I'm gonna do it. So let's do var x equals document that get element by ID. So use X to get the ID. That's called XX. Okay. So you would have a variable X should be equal to parse integer of your XX. So XX is the button, is the box. The box value is a string. So that string being converted to an integer X. Is that okay? After
Yeah.
that, let's alert the UX. After that, let's alert the X. So let's don't do too much. Let's just do up to here. Save here, okay, and then let's enter 15. So you do submit, you go the 15 being entered and being alerted. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one input. So that's one variable input. It's very similar to the so-called So what happened is that you will get element by ID will have this x. This x is the input variable x right here. And the value we can enter it. Okay, so we also have a y. So we will get element by y as well. So here let's call it yy. But then we cannot finish the whole thing for the phone. But I'm going to show you the importance of the input. So here we do have a y. So this is yy. Okay, so you alert x, alert y, and then let's do one more. Let's do one more. Let's do alert. X plus y equals plus x plus y. Okay, so this one will alert you a value of x plus y now. So let's just say, let's redo it. So let's do 3 plus 4, submit. Is it x? Oh, that's alert x. No, one more. So it alert x, you click OK, you alert 4. Click OK, you alert x plus y equals 7. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So let's do this. This part is okay for the alert. Let me take out the alert. Alert is to show you by the message box. So right here, let's do print line x plus y plus x plus y. Okay, using the printline function. Printline function is right there. You change the inner HTML value. So let's redo it again. Let's have the 10 and 20 is summation x plus y equals 30. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So this program, what I want to say is that this program is similar to this. That's actually use a Python program to show you. What I want to say is this actually, we can write another Python program. It is x equals integer conversion of the input of x, y equals integer conversion of the input of y, and then putting density of x plus y equals plus ht of x plus y. Okay, so I save this one as a Python program. Let's call it addition.py, okay? Okay, so this is what we have in Python. And then let's actually run it. You get x equals 3, y equals 4, you get 7. And then that's exactly the same as what you see right here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So in a way, Python program is very straightforward and simple. You can directly do the mathematical calculation. Why JavaScript is so complicated? That's because that you want to put it as a web page, and there are some design issues making it look prettier compared to the this Python program. Python program is just text more, very ugly pages. But what you have right here in JavaScript is a whole page of the website code, and it actually just do one summation. So basically, you get element by ID, that you get your X boxes value and change it into integer for X, same thing for Y. And then this tail value, you print it using the print line function to print it. Print line function will get a message and then change your panel, the inner HTML. And inner HTML is the message panel part right there. Okay. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
And then effectively, this is 2 input variable and 1 output variable. So let's do 5 and 6. You got 11. Okay, that's what we want to do. So today I give you a phone input that is for your very Christian school. We haven't finished yet because we only finished one field set. We have 2 more field set we want to work on. These 2 more field set, we will get your more of the function, maybe the checklist, pull down menu, option list, command text area. That's what we will work on next week, okay? But what I want to say is that this is to design how you input and output your message to a website. And we have a easier version to do addition. So you need to look at both to understand it, and we'll do it next week to finish up the whole Very Christian High School grade report project. Okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Any questions so far? Okay, and these different things later we'll go to code.org to design the same thing for you. Is that okay? That you compare what's the difference between the design of using JavaScript and using code.org app. Okay, I'll do it after we finish the form using the code.org to design it again. Okay? Okay, good night then. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.